Was trying to think of a video to do today. Forgot tier list swear thing. Completely forgot that I needed to do a tier list for this week. And we've got another very good one here. Almost finished with all the starters for hitters in Major League Baseball. We're moving on to center field. Actually, I had to make this tier list myself. The center field one that was on Tier Maker was a little outdated. This one I think is a lot better. So we got some additions, we got some subtractions, and I also have Alex Verdugo's list as a center fielder. Technically it's Kike, but Kike was in the second baseman video, and then Verdugo wasn't in left field because Franchi Cordero was there. So we're putting Verdugo in center, but I know he's technically their left fielder, so just keep that in mind. But the rest of it should be very good. So if you guys do enjoy the tier list and you want to see more of this kind of content on the channel, drop a like on the video. 2,500 likes, that's what we're aiming for today. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and you enjoy the content. Click that sub button, join the team. We are so close to 200k subs. Get in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about this tier list. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? What do you think? And make sure you drop me a follow on all my social media. GiraffeNeckMarc, link is in the description as always to all my social media. All right, so let's go ahead and get this started here. We've got Aaron Hicks for the New York Yankees. I know Brett Gardner's been playing a lot of center, but I'm not going to rank Brett Gardner. Let's go ahead and do it for Aaron Hicks. Clearly, he's like, if healthy, their center fielder. I think he's a good center fielder, pretty good defensively, strong arm, gets on base, hits for a little pop. I think he's getting closer and closer to that average range, but I do think Aaron Hicks is still a good center fielder in the grand scheme of Major League Baseball. Not maybe top 10 like he once was, but I think he's still good. Adolis Garcia is having quite the season. He's actually very good defensively in center field, really good athlete. He's mashing baseballs, hitting home runs. The one thing he doesn't really do, he doesn't really walk much, but I think that's kind of typical of like Cuban center fielders. The Cuban players don't tend to walk nearly as much. Adolis Garcia, one of them, but he hits bombs. He plays good center field. He's a very good player. The Rangers got a little gem there in Adolis. He goes into the all-star category. For Akil Baddoo, I am going to be a little harsher on Akil Baddoo because we have really seen him struggle at times, but he gets better and better. I think Akil Baddoo could probably go in the good category. I might move him to all-star. I really might. He's very, very close. He's been improving. He's been getting better. I think he could probably go into all-star by the end of this. This is still to be determined, but right now I'm going to put him in good. It's so hard with his sample size. It's so tough. He's had like essentially 2 or 3 different seasons in this one short season. Alex Verdugo. Now, technically the left fielder. I'm a big Alex Verdugo fan. I think he's an all-star caliber outfielder. In center field, it's a little bit less, obviously, probably, but I do think he's an all-star caliber player. I think he's one of the better players in the outfield in baseball. You know, top 10 at every spot. Really, really good glove. Very, very good hitter. While his numbers aren't as great as you'd like this year, they're going to improve. He's going to continue to be a beast at the plate for this team. He's huge. Bradley Zimmer's good defensively, like sort of, kinda, but he can't really hit. I think I'm willing to put Bradley Zimmer in the trash category right now. He just offers little to nothing at the plate, and I know he's been battling some injury. You know what? I'm not going to put him there. I'm going to put him below average. Trasher's a little tough. I think below average is actually where he belongs because he has shown us sparks in the past of being like a pretty decent center fielder, but right now the hitting's not there. Come back from injury. I think below average is fair. Brandon Nimmo. I think Brandon Nimmo is an all-star level center fielder. Brandon Nimmo is one of the better offensive outfielders in baseball. The guy gets on base at an elite rate. He's starting to hit for a little more power. He's missed a lot of time this year due to injury, but when he's on the field, I mean, this is a dude whose OPS is hovering around that 900 range. He walks, hits for power, gets some doubles. Defensively, not great. That's the one thing you're going to take a shot at Nimmo. Just doesn't play a great defensive center fielder. He's really more of a corner outfielder, but that offensive production puts him in that all-star category where there's going to be a lot of center fielders in this video. I think there's a lot of all-star caliber players at this position. Brian Reynolds. Brian Reynolds was in our left fielder video. I put him in all-star, so I'm going to put him in all-star in center field as well. The reason he gets doubled up on instead of some other guys is just that the Pirates really don't have the talent out there. And if I had known or thought about it, that when I did the left fielder tier list, I would have remade it. I would have changed it. So I need to put him in center because I'm not putting Kai Tom here. He's just not a center fielder. Brian Reynolds is their guy, and he's an all-star caliber player. Good average, good fielder, good player. Byron Buxton. Byron Buxton clearly goes in the superstar category. Byron Buxton is one of the best center fielders in baseball. Top 3 without a doubt. Like Mike Trout's in his own tier, Byron Buxton is in that next tier. He was playing at an MVP type level this year. He got hurt. He seems to not be able to avoid the injury list with stinks, but he's great in the outfield. Probably the best defensive outfielder. Absolutely mashing at the plate now. Doesn't walk, but he mashes, so who cares? Byron Buxton, superstar. Cedric Mullins. Cedric Mullins is going to go in the all-star category too. This is another guy who's been so good this year. He drop switch hitting, and it has fixed his game. He's hitting for some pop, but granted, it's in Baltimore, so the ball flies. He's hitting for some pop, hitting doubles, getting on base, hitting for a high average, playing good defense. Cedric Mullins has turned himself into a really good center fielder in Major League Baseball. Mullins is good, man. Mullins is really good. Cody Bellinger. I think this one might be a hot take. I think Cody Bellinger's a superstar. I really do. I know that people are a little bit down on him, that his offensive numbers have come down since his MVP season, but defensively, he's arguably the best defensive center fielder in the game. Cannon of an arm. We know the potential he has at the plate, and he's shown us it. And even when he's off, he's still an above average hitter with that sick glove. I think Cody Bellinger's a superstar. I really do. Like, this one's tough, and I think a lot of people will probably give me some crap for this, but I think Bellinger is just unbelievable. I think he's really sick. Dylan Carlson. I think Dylan Carlson goes in the good category for center fielders. I think he's very comparable to like what Akil Baddoo is doing, and I know Baddoo has better numbers, so that's like, it doesn't feel great, but I think Carlson will end up being the better player. I know it's not necessarily what we're ranking right now, but for me, I think Carlson goes in the good category. Just a very good center fielder with the potential to get to that all-star caliber in a couple seasons. He's talented. George Springer. I'm gonna put George Springer in the superstar category, and the reason being is that Mike Trout's gonna get his own category just because he's Mike Trout. He's different. But George Springer, when he's healthy, this guy is just one of the better players in baseball. I mean, look at his numbers from the last few years. George Springer's been incredible. I mean, look at Springer's numbers from the last 2 years. 2019, 2020, 173 games played. He's hit 53 homers, 26 doubles, 128 RBIs, 284 average, 376 on base, 576 slugging, 953 OPS. That's elite level stuff. OPS over a 173 game stretch. His 162, by the way, 50, 25, and 120 with a 953 OPS. Like, that's so good. That's so good. So for me, George Springer has to be in that superstar category. Like, when this guy's healthy, he is just simply one of the better outfielders in the game. And right now his position center, which he's really more of a corner guy, but I don't care. Superstar. Guillermo Heredia. I don't know where to put you. He's a good defensive center fielder. He's been below average offensively recently, but this year he's actually hitting the ball really well. Go figure, because the Mets got rid of him. I'm going to put him in average. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that he's improving as a player this year with the bat. He's always been good defensively, always been used for his glove, but his bat's never been anything special. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, put him in average. Ian Happ. I think Ian Happ is a good center fielder. I do. I know he's struggling a little bit this year with the bat, but he showed us the last few years. This is a guy who you can chalk up for an OPS from like 750 to 800 every single year, I think, consistently. Defense out there is fine. It's not amazing. It's not horrendous. Switch hitter. I like Ian Happ a lot. I think he's a good center fielder. Jackie Bradley Jr. Jackie Bradley Jr. doesn't go in trash because at least he's sick defensively in the outfield. Cannon of an arm. Great glove out there in center. Gets to everything. But boy, is his hitting atrocious again. He is the streakiest player in Major League Baseball. When he's hot, there's nobody that's stopping him. And when he's cold, I mean, literally, I think I could strike him out. So Jackie Bradley Jr. Gamecock, hate to do it to you, but he goes in below average right now. Ketel Marte. We already ranked him, and I put him in the superstar category, I think, for second baseman. I'm willing to do that as well if we're going to call him a center fielder. Ketel Marte is just so good. If he played in a bigger market, Ketel Marte is a superstar. It's just simple. He plays for just one of the worst teams, if not the worst team in baseball right now, in the Arizona Diamondbacks. He rakes, plays a pretty good outfield even. I think Ketel Marte is a superstar caliber player. And again, bigger market, you're going to get the same love that some of these other guys do. He's sick. He's so good. Kevin Kiermaier. Kevin Kiermaier goes in average. And the reason he goes in average is because, yes, that bat is basically a pool noodle, but his defense is so disgustingly good. He's a super freak in center field. That's the only thing really keeping him on this Rays team. He brings value to your team. He's very, very valuable. But in the grand scheme of comparing him to other center fielders, his value to those guys, I'm not necessarily going to say I choose him over Akil Baddoo, Aaron Hicks, Dylan Carlson, Ian Happ. He's great at what he does defensively, but at the plate, he doesn't give much. And as an individual player, not great. On a team, extremely valuable. Kyle Lewis. I think Kyle Lewis goes in the good category. Kyle Lewis battling some injuries this year. Last year, we saw him have a Rookie of the Year campaign in Seattle. He was very, very good. Surprised a lot of people. Like, I think he's really, man. He's kind of in the Akil Baddoo category for me. Like, we've seen a tale of two seasons for him. Started off extremely hot, got really cold. Hasn't played a lot this year. Need to see more from him. I want to put him in All-Star so badly. I really do. But I think he's good right now. I think he's in good. That's tough. I hate to say it, but I think so. I think another guy that has to go in good right now, because I think the dudes above him are just, like, again, in a little bit of a different level offensively, is Luis Robert. Luis Robert is sick with the glove. Absolutely disgusting in center field. The bat is, we're still figuring it out. Crazy potential from the bat. Like, Luis Robert is going to be a superstar. There's no doubt in my mind. Just like Kyle Lewis is going to be an all-star. Just like Akil Baddoo is probably going to be an all-star. But right now, I think I have to put him in good. The bat is inconsistent. He was super hot last year. Got ice cold as well. Like, did not end the season well. Need to see a little more maturation from Luis Robert, but he's got the potential to be superstar level. Just right now, he's good. And of course, he's not playing because of injury. Michael A. Taylor. Michael A. Taylor's tough. Bad hitter. Below average hitter. But really good defensively. So I think I'll give him a little bit of the Kevin Kiermaier treatment here, and I'll put him in average because he is playing such a sick outfield out in Kansas City, one of the biggest outfields in baseball, but he just can't hit. Just cannot hit Michael A. Taylor. So average. Mike Trout, I want to give him his own category, but we'll just put him in superstar as well because, well, he's the best player in baseball, possibly the best player we've ever seen. Mike Trout is, should be in his own category, but it's not going to fit well on the screen, so we'll put him in superstar. I care about the framing of this a little more than, like, Mike Trout's own tier. All right, Miles Straw. Don't know what to do with him. Not much of a hitter, but again, very good defensively, so he goes in that group of guys that kind of fall in that category. Good glove. Not the worst hitters, but not very good. Like, Bradley Zimmer and Jackie Bradley Jr. are on their own level for hitting. Maybe Kevin Kiermaier even goes there, but he's better defensively. All the dudes in average typically, a little below average hitters, very good gloves. Miles Straw falls in that category. Odubel Herrera, trash human being, just like we've said about some other guys in these videos. As a player, like, he's an okay hitter. He's been a good center fielder this year, which is kind of shocking because in the past he's not been. He's an average, and I hate to do it. I hate to do it. He should be trash. He should be below average, but strictly as a player, he's about average in center. He has some value on the trade market this year. Ramon Laureano. Oh, Ramon Laureano's so good. I love me some Razor Ramon. I think he goes in all-star on the precipice of superstar. You can make the argument that he deserves to be in superstar, and I'd be cool with it. I wouldn't disagree, but I think right now he just goes in all-star. I think he's so close. I think he's so close, and I think this year he has the chance. He's getting there. He's on the cusp, but I'll put him in all-star right now. So good, though. He's great defensively, great at the plate. Everything you'd want. Starling Marte. Starling Marte is another really, really good center fielder. All-star. Having a great year offensively, having a great year defensively. Little renaissance to his career here. People were starting to doubt that he could play center, but he's kind of shut up everybody there. He's a good center fielder still, and he's a good hitter playing for Miami. Trade deadline candidate for sure. I expect him to go to a contender. He's a beast. Steven Duggar. This dude makes no sense. This was a guy who was a bunter. That was his thing. He bunted, and he played some decent center field. Now he still plays pretty good center field, and he's starting to hit. I don't know where to put Steven Duggar. It's tough for me. I, don't like Steven Duggar. He's a Clemson guy, plays for the Giants, gave me the worst interview I've ever had in my life. It was just not fun to even do with him. So yeah, a little biased here. I just genuinely don't like the guy, but oh man, where does he go? Like, he's average. There's no way he's not in the same category as Baду, Hicks, Carlson, Happ, Lewis, Robert. Despite how good he's playing this year, for his career, he's still a below average hitter and above average glove. So for me, that falls in average. I think that's a fair spot. If you would have asked me before this year, he goes in trash. So I bumped him up more than I expected. Trent Grisham. Oh, Trent Grisham's so close to superstar too. He's awesome. Trent Grisham is an all-star. Fantastic defensively in center field. Fantastic at the plate. Needs to marinate a little bit more, and this guy will be a superstar. We have gone from not having a lot of great center fielders to having a plethora of good all-star superstar guys. Baseball super talented right now. Trent Grisham's part of that crew. Tyler Naquin was off to a hot start this year. Pretty good bat. Not great defensively. He goes in average. Like, let's be honest, Tyler Naquin, not really a center fielder. Victor Robles, on the other hand, below average hitter, sick in the outfield, absolute cannon of an arm. He goes in average as well, though. He doesn't really hit that well, and in past, he hasn't walked. This year, he's been very patient at the plate, so that's huge for his game. That's making him from a below average hitter to about average. The glove's good. I need to see a little more of him. Just a little bit more. He can maybe go into that good category, but I do think he belongs in average right now. But he, again, individually, average. On a team, valuable. And then Jonathan Daza. I don't know where to put Jonathan Daza. Jonathan Daza is actually pretty good defensively out in Coors, playing center field. At the plate, doesn't hit for much power, but hits for average. But of course, with average, you have to take into account Coors effect, so just lower it a little bit. Like, I don't think he's a bad hitter by any means. I still think he's a good hitter, but I don't know if he's a 320 guy. Doesn't have a whole lot of pop in that bat. Doesn't really walk. I don't think it's gonna last. So I'm gonna put Jonathan Daza in average. I think he's an average center fielder right now. I don't feel great about that one, but I'm okay with missing out on Jonathan Daza if I do. So that's my center field tier list. It's a little all over the place. We got a lot of superstars, a lot of all-star, a lot of good, a lot of average. Not many below average guys. Center field in baseball has really evolved as a position. It was great back in the day. It's getting great again. We've got so much talent there. It's probably one of the tougher tier lists I've had to do, but I think I stand by it. Akil Baddoo, that's the one that bothers me the most, though. I kind of want to put him in all-star, but I think right now he goes good, and that's where he belongs. I'd love to know what you guys think down in the comments section below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Drop a like on the video if you did enjoy it, as well as subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the content coming at you. Follow me on all my social media, GiraffeNeckMarc, links in the description, and that's where I'm wrapping up today's video. You guys know the drill from here on out. YouTube recommends you watch this video. This is my most recent upload. Click through those if you have not yet seen them. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow for another video. Bye.